Coming up on Spartan Sports Report, the softball team went looking for its first win at home, the track and field teams hosted the Spartan Invitational, and the women's soccer team continued spring competitions. Welcome into the Spartan Newsroom for this week's episode of Spartan Sports Report. I'm Jessica Kemnitz.
And I'm Daphne Bohennick. Jess, I know it's spring, but we've been having some crazy weather lately.
I know. I had to swim to get here. Did you see those flooded baseball fields?
I did, and thankfully Michigan State baseball was on the road, and we'll start talking about their week. The Michigan State baseball team took on the Lansing Lugnuts last Wednesday in the Crosstown Showdown. The matchup had a much different look than a regular season game, as it was entirely machine pitch with no bunting or stealing. Senior infielder Randy Seymour nailed a 2-run homer in the fourth, and sophomore infielder Dayton Murphy followed, launching a solo home run in the sixth, helping lead MSU to a 16-10 victory. MSU then turned its attention back towards the regular season for a road series against Northwestern. The outfielder pair of senior Nick Williams and junior Trent Rice drove in 2 runs in the seventh, extending the Spartan lead and securing the 5-1 victory in the series opener. In Game 2, MSU jumped out to an early 3-0 lead, highlighted by Seymour smacking a solo home run. The Wildcats responded quickly, tying the game in the fourth and grabbing the momentum. From there, it turned into a back-and-forth shootout until Northwestern hit a walk-off home run to escape with a 10-9 win. In the Easter Sunday finale, the Green and White dropped their second straight game to the Wildcats 8-6. Despite the loss, senior catcher Noah Bright became the first Spartan of the season to have a 5-for-5 game at the plate. Next on deck, Sparty travels to South Bend on Wednesday to take on Notre Dame.
Michigan State softball started its week at home on Wednesday against in-state foe Detroit Mercy. The MSU Bats found consistency early on, gaining runs in the first 3 innings. The Titans answered the bell with a 2-run shot from utility Liv Peterson. More UDM success occurred with an RBI double, bringing in 2 Titans runs in the 6th. The Spartans attempted a 7th-inning rally, cutting their deficit down to a 1 off an RBI from sophomore infielder Natalia Kenyatta. However, it was too little too late, and Detroit Mercy defeated MSU 5-4, gaining its first win against the Spartans since 2008. An 11-game losing streak, the Spartans welcomed in Illinois for a weekend series. Sydney Dolozecki got MSU rolling in the 2nd inning with an immaculate sliding catch, and then turned great defense to great offense with this leadoff homer in the bottom half of the 2nd. As the Bats came alive, notching 4 runs in the frame for the Green and White. Sparty wasn't done there, as Sophie Holverslot batted her 2nd dinger of the season down the right field line, plating 3 to extend MSU's lead to 7-0. JC Schuler was dominant in the circle again for the Spartans, posting her 3rd complete game of the season and surrendering her 1 and only hit to Illinois, as offense was hard to come by. Michigan State flipped the grounder over to first to take Game 1 of the series 7-0, giving it MSU its first Big Ten win of the season. The win in Game 1 sent the Spartans looking for the sweep in number 2. The first inning started off hot for Illinois, scoring 7 runs with 6 RBI, including Jackie Yeager, who hit a double to left field, and Skylar Brennan with an RBI single. The Spartans looked to Britton Bashirs, who responded for the Green and White with a solo home run in the 2nd inning for her first of the season. MSU attempted to shorten the deficit with Peyton Conroy's 2 hits and 2 RBIs in the 4th and 7th inning, although it wouldn't be enough. With multiple bases loaded scenarios, the Spartans were unable to overcome Illinois' dominant first inning, resulting in a 12-6 loss at Sequia Stadium. The heavy rains on Saturday proved to be too much for the rubber match on Sunday, as the field flooded over, leaving the series deadlocked. The Spartans' next game is scheduled on Wednesday against Oakland, but whether or not the fields will be ready is looking to be decided closer to game time.
The number 11 women's gymnastics team traveled down south to Tempe, Arizona for its 5th appearance in the NCAA regional meet on Thursday and Saturday. After clinching first place on day 1 with a 197.350, MSU moved on to Saturday, where it finished third with a 197 and concluded its season with a 24-8 record. Standout senior Nikki Smith secured a perfect 10 on vault on day one and highlight the all-around score both days. 3 gymnasts will represent MSU in Fort Worth, Texas for the NCAA Gymnastics Championships on April 16th. Smith for the all-around, senior Sage Kellerman for bars and vault, and junior Gabby Ortiz on the floor.
Michigan State's men's and women's track and field teams hosted the Spartan Invitational last Friday. In the one only home meet of the season for the green and white, Sparty welcomed in over a dozen schools from the Midwest area, including Western Michigan and Purdue Fort Wayne. Dylan and Colby Morlock finished first and second in the men's shot put event, with Dylan's best throw traveling 18.95 meters. For the women's long jump event, MSU's Gabrielle Jeffries finished second, tallying a jump of 5.67 meters. The women's hammer throw event, the All-American Elle Adrian finished first with a season best throw of 58.71 meters. Michigan State captured victories in both men's and women's 4x1 and 4x4 relays. The Spartans will travel to Winston-Salem for the Wake Forest Invitational next on April 16th and 17th.
The number 20 Michigan State men's tennis team took on the Washington Huskies in Seattle on Friday. The Spartans took the doubles point and also found success in singles. Redshirt senior Aristoteles Thanos, senior Ozan Barish, and junior Tame Alasma earned points for MSU en route to a 4-0 win. The Spartans then headed over to Eugene, Oregon to match up with the Ducks on Sunday. The Spartans took an early lead, sweeping the doubles for a 1-0 lead. The green and white would not look back as they would win 3 more singles victories to cap off the afternoon with a dominant 4-0 win. Sparty will head down to Ann Arbor to face rival Michigan on Saturday.
The Michigan State women's tennis team opened up its final road trip of the season starting at Northwestern. Sophomore Amara Bromba was at the center of the only 2 Spartan victories on the day as MSU fell 4-1 to Northwestern. Moving on to Sunday, the Spartans changed the narrative of the weekend against Illinois. MSU took the doubles point off a win from Bromba and redshirt junior Hannah Tidovitz, while the Fighting Illini took the first singles point with a victory from number 39 McKenna Schaffbauer. It wouldn't be enough for the win, with the Spartans fighting back and putting 3 more points on the board for a 4-1 victory. Next up, the Spartans will be taking on Rutgers on Saturday at 12 p.m. to kick off their last home weekend of the season.
Michigan State women's rowing team lined up against Eastern Michigan on Saturday, competing on Ford Lake in Ypsilanti, Michigan. The varsity 8 won, coming across the finish line with a time of 7:20.7. The second varsity 8 earned its first race win of the year, finishing with a time of 7:47.7. The varsity 4's win secured 3 out of 4 race wins for MSU over the Eagles. The Spartans will host the Big Ten Invitational Regatta in Sacramento, California on April 18th and 19th.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Spartan Sports Report.
For more content, be sure to check out all of our social medias here below, as well as the Spartan Newsroom website. I'm Daphne Bohenik.
And I'm Jessica Chemnitz. We'll see you next week.